Beginning of the 22nd dynasty.
Ready to go, yeah.
Around 9
Hey
or 5
everyone,
BC.
sorry I'm a bit late, but
We
we did put ish off like next to the 7, so that ish does give me a little bit of leeway. Just wanted to point that out. But yeah, I'm here, got everything in order. Well, I suppose I'll start with my little headlines. I don't know if everyone knows, but the state of Texas, even in this election time, is basically taking Netflix to court. They're being indicted over the Cuties movie, saying that it's basically child exploitation. Like what I said in the first place, it's a disgusting movie that is basically child porn. There's no two ways about that, even the dialogue. So it's a step forward anyway. At least at least something's happening. Moving on to Ghislaine Maxwell. She's hired a new lawyer. It is on my Facebook post. But yeah, she's actually hired a new lawyer, and this new lawyer was the lawyer of Osama bin Laden. Didn't do him much good though, did it? So, maybe she might end up in the same way of Osama bin Laden. Or Tim Osman, whatever you want to say. He's a CIA glow-in-the-dark lawyer. There's a lot of intelligence glow-in-the-dark going around. And my main topic for today is going to be modelling. Clotheslines, and basically what child prostitution the modelling industry is. And I refer to Midland Models, which was owned by Rachel Chandler and Walter Pierce. Walter Pierce is based in England, by the way. Sorry, I haven't got my mic on. Look, oh my God. I don't know if could they hear me? All right. Okay. Well, it should be a bit clearer now. Like I was saying, the modelling agencies that maybe once upon a time were just modelling agencies seem to really have morphed into child prostitution rings. And I am not saying that every modelling agency is running child, but there is a very large proportion. Epstein was very, very, very connected within the modelling industry, which brings me to Jean-Luc Brunel. I'm sure you all remember that name. At one point, he was being, his name was like up there with Ghislaine Maxwell's, and then all of a sudden, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And he owned MC2 Models. There will be, I am going to put up the links because you've just got to look at the photos of the models that they are promoting, and you can see these children are battered, these children are bruised. They've tried to Photoshop the bruising, and it was like a home shopping for paedophiles, allegedly. And also some of the famous models that are in our modelling industry that are, icons for young girls to look up to. Which brings me to Naomi Campbell, who has been on the flight logs. Not saying that she had partaken in anything, but she's a liar. Let's put it that way. And how I know that she's a bloody liar is because, number one, I knew her mum Valerie. We was in prison together for a little while. And also, I don't know if you all remember when Naomi Campbell was linked with the blood diamond. Yeah, she went and gave evidence in court saying that she did not know Charles Taylor. Now, a lot of you might not know that name, yeah, but Charles Taylor was later tried in The Hague for crimes against humanity. Now, here's where Naomi Campbell fits in. Yeah, she received a diamond as a present from Charles Taylor. He was actually the president of Liberia. And in court, at his trial, she said she did not know him. But then there surfaced a photograph. Is that up? But it will be up on the... There was a photograph with Naomi Campbell, Nelson Mandela. I think it's Nelson Mandela's wife. Not too sure the first or the second one, because the first one, yeah. But in that photograph is Charles Taylor. Yeah. And, you know, she never faced no consequences over going to a legal trial in The Hague and blatantly lying. So to say her morals are a bit skewiff is, you know, and you know, she's what every young girl looks up to. She's, you know, and these are the role models that we have in place. Also, I want to bring to Brimmer Models, which is based in, it's Eastern Europe. I'm not too sure what country. I have put the link up on my Facebook page, which I'll give out at the end because I don't want to keep saying it. Brimmer Models is based in Eastern Europe, and it is absolutely nothing but, I don't even think there's any modelling that goes on there. Yeah, and I have put the documentary up on my Facebook so you can check everything that I'm saying. And then we had Fashion Nova. Fashion Nova was more of the mainstream that they thought was really acceptable to put out there. And yeah, so I've put up a link. I have put it up on Facebook, but I will repost it again. And I just leave it to you people to decide whether you think that these clothes that they are promoting as acceptable for children between 5 and 10, and I'm talking about PVC cat suits, all-in-one cat suits, yeah, with heels like that to go on your child, so your child can dress like mummy. It is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, and I no, I'm not even that, but I'm pretty sure that Netflix was backing them, or it was Hulu. Hulu was so one of the mainstream streaming, whatever they are, was fully backing it and promoting it. I've also put up links to a little, well, she was a little girl, her name's Aria. Aria and Phoenix, they're like a package deal, but they're both victims of SRA. They didn't know each other growing up. They met as survivors, and that, you know, but both of their stories are so powerful. But Aria talks about, she was being groomed for the modelling industry. She was being taken to photo shoots from the age of 6. She talks about a very well-known designer. Open sourced information here, so I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just suggesting people listen to her testimony about Karl Lagerfeld. Yeah, Karl Lagerfeld famously said that if a model don't like being groped, she may as well join a nunnery. But it goes a lot deeper than him being just a procurer or a trafficker. He's very violent. He's very, and she does say that she believes he was definitely, you know, an abused but turned perpetrator, handler, stroke, however you want to talk about it. And this all happens in London, in Richmond. You know, that's where this is all taking place. So when people think that this is just in America, oh no, he's here. Yeah, and if you listen to Aria, and I quote her, it was above a not Russell and Bromley shoe shop in Richmond that she was taken to, drugged, and she was also taken to Mick Jagger's house because his wife allegedly was a handler procuring young children. And she clearly mentions, and it's under the caption, like a rolling stone. And she talks about when her father drugged her. and where she lived was within access to Mick Jagger's house, and she was taken there to a party where she was, I think, about 12 at the time, but she talks about the cocaine and the drinks that are openly there, and she was made to do things with other models. She doesn't name the other models because I don't think that's what it's about for Aria, but she does say that they are still very prolific in this day and age, modelling. And also one of the last bits of info is Celine Dion. I'm not too sure how many of you are aware of her clothing range, which is called Celine Nunu, something like that. It's called clothing for gender fluidity. Yeah. I've put the vid up of what the clothing entails. It's just beyond belief. You know, there's skulls, they're on babies, New World Order. It's gender equal. There shouldn't be a gender, and you know these clothing lines are just going off on the streaming services where they're promoting this transgender from the age of 3, which I spoke about last week. There was something else. Sorry, it's just come to me. I don't know if you all know. Is it Sarah Paulson? She American Horror Story. Yeah, the series American Horror Story. I don't know if I did put it up on Facebook. It's a 9-minute clip of a clip that she did, and it was 9 minutes of she plays a teacher. It was called After School something, and I will put it up. And she plays a teacher who starts engaging in a conversation with a guy they're at a child's play area, like Rascal, whatever, you know, soft play, you know, it's somewhere like that. And she starts having a conversation with one of the dads. And to be quite honest with you, I actually thought it was going to be one of them. The dad was making in comments about who he thought was her child. It was a boy, young boy. I think he must have been about 8 or 9, because the guy comments that the child is too big and too old to be at these places, and she then proceeds to tell him that she's just helping out because he's got a bad home life, and he doesn't get out much, so she sometimes brings him out because she's nice, because she's a teacher, and then. Just at the end of it, the little boy comes over and says to her, he was hitting on you, I don't like it when he hits on you, acting like a little spoilt child, really, saying, you know, you've given him attention. And then it ends with, next time, I don't want to come here, I want to go home and fuck. That's what I like to do. That was open sourced off of YouTube. And basically I have put it up on Facebook, and it's Niki Cooper, and it's the profile pic 2 with a brew. Everything that I talk about I have posted up on Facebook, and you know, don't just look at the latest posts I've put up. If you go over all my posts, I've only been on Facebook for 9 weeks now, nearly up to 1,500 friends, so thank you. But I've been posting up, there's nothing up there but posts. Every post up there about the Hampstead, there is so many posts that cover a lot of questions that people have submitted. You know, I've put videos up, docs up. There's nothing else, no personal information, no nothing, just posts. So, you know, I urge people to go back a bit further than my latest posts, because all my posts are informal. Yeah, they're informative, sorry. So yeah, we've got quite a few questions. So, and also I want to say I'm doing an interview with you probably know him for face Hunter. He did one with John. I think that might be a very interesting interview. I'm doing it on Saturday, so tune in, because I think that could be a very, very, very interesting interview. We differ on a lot of points, so it'd be nice to be able to, you know, sit down and be challenged. I'm always up for that. There was quite a few questions that right, which one? A lot of them I've answered. I tried to go through. Right. Shares on birth certificate, and can we cash them in? I put up a doc quite a while ago called Straw Man Nature of the Cage. I actually do know that our birth certificates make us a corporation. Yeah, I'm not that knowledgeable on it, and no, I don't know how to cash them in, because I cashed mine in a long time ago, to be quite honest with you. So if anyone does find out how to cash them in, bring me in, please. Have I watched the Paris Hilton documentary? Do you know what? I watched half of it the other day, and then something happened, so I didn't actually get to the bit where she was saying that she was abused. Absolutely no doubt that she was abused. I'm not saying that she wasn't, but I do fully believe that she went along happily at the end with it, because she was best friends with Rachel Chandler. I've spoken about her so many times. I can't understand someone being best friends with someone like Rachel Chandler, and you don't know what she is. Her photography is disgusting. Her Midland modelling agency is disgusting. Yeah. So yeah, I only did get, but I will watch all of it, because obviously I've watched half of it, and I want to get to the abuse bit. But like I said, I've no doubt that she was abused. All them little. If you're born into that sort of family, you're born into it, and you are, as a child, you're abused horrifically. I know that. But then it doesn't excuse later on behaviour, to be quite honest with you. And why has Esther Rantzen never been outed? I think she has, I think she was ousted by I'm pretty sure that Jeffrey Dickens, he was like Lou Dickens' grandfather. He tried to start up another child thing, because basically Childline was set up in the Satanic Panic 80s to information gather, I believe, allegedly. I'm not the first person to say that Esther Rantzen turned a blind eye to certain things, like they all did to Jimmy Savile. It happens. But I do believe, there are people, I wouldn't say ousted, but there are people that have tried to tell the truth. As always, people are always trying to tell the truth, but whether they're heard or listened to is two different things. And who's that from? George Kouros, I don't know. Can you talk about infighting? Well, not. Do you know what? It's just exhausting, and I don't understand it. I don't really get it, to be quite honest with you. I'm no part of it. It's like, I'm here. The only people that I'm fighting or at war with or anything is child traffickers. Yeah, I ain't got time for any infighting, any hearsay, any that, and that. Really, in all honesty, that's all there is to say. The only people that I am fighting are people who are enabling child trafficking, that brings me to some comments that I've been getting off of YouTube. From the fruit. Well, it starts with the fruitcake muncher, who's always got something to say. But I would like to refer to a comment that was replied to the fruitcake muncher. Right. One is from Shiva. Nikki Cooper's latest video is so disgusting, with lots of illegal info shared re the Hampstead children, that I won't link at the moment. She then goes on to explain that punters who want prostitutes to dress up as young girls have paedophilic tendencies. Yeah, Nikki, who enabled and profited off this for many years. Now, I do not know if you know about Clipping Love, but I didn't enable nobody, and I didn't profit off paedophilic tendencies. So let's get that right. Yeah, neither did John Wedge. Here we go, John again. But some of us did for decades, point out connections and attempt to educate. Educate on what, love? Yeah, and even promotes the BS about Angela Power Disney, who I mistakenly called Sheila Power Disney last week, because your names ain't nothing to me. I don't give a shit about your names. Put out about the Hampstead dad, which I will put a link so everyone can go and listen to the full interview he did with Angela Power Disney. And I really think it's time that she received a visit and possible consequences, right? And then Stuart James, I don't know who you are, but you're the only person that had the guts to put a name, whether it's your name or not, I don't know. I found this very interesting. I appeal to you, brothers, to watch out for those who cause divisions and create obstacles contrary to the doctrine. And then it said Romans 16:17. Not too sure, but Rick, fill us in on the doctrine, mate. What doctrine have you been taught? Yeah, and the bottom line is that, like, there's so much. Someone says, was my son taken into care because I violently abused him? Like, give it up, people. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, and then they're calling me a fraud. How am I saying that I'm defrauding because that's what I've done? How am I defrauding anybody? Tell me what lies I have told, because to defraud you have to lie. Tell me what lies I have told on my podcast. Everything I say is verified and put on my Facebook. Yeah, so you know the bottom line is if you're gonna throw dirt at me, yeah, do your research, mate, because that's just absolutely ridiculous. And I also want to say as well, I have now got enough to get my equipment, right? So as you know, that's all in hand. So I will be putting out better podcasts, right? Banging podcasts, actually. Yeah, and you know what? You can throw all the dirt you want or make all the insinuations that you want. Why don't you come and interview me? I'm doing an interview with Hunter. I'll have an interview with anyone. So if Stuart James or the Fruitcake Muncher, who seems to be waiting for my podcast to come out, right? Because obviously I'm bringing too much attention to the sort of person that he is. You know, why don't we have an interview, Rick? I'll be your Victoria Derbyshire. Yeah, that also, Brett, sorry, I did forget this one. On BBC One or Sunday night, I think it was about 11:30 at night, they had a documentary on Marina Abramovich. And anyone on this channel, everyone must know about Marina Abramovich. She's the top satanic witch who holds the spirit cooking. Her artwork is absolutely disgusting. But the BBC promoted her as a visionary artist, basically saying that she's a top visionary artist. I put up a link of Marina Abramovich's art, or what she entails as art, which is chopping up bodies, cake bodies, eating the body parts. Yeah, so I'm not too sure what person at the BBC decided that Marina Abramovich art is visionary art. Was it you, Victoria, maybe? Because and I will put up the art that the BBC didn't show you about Marina Abramovich. So it just shows that basically the BBC are so up with this satanic agenda. It is ridiculous. Yep, and it's been a pleasure as always. Look forward to your comments. They're becoming quite interesting. But as I said, I'm doing an interview with Hunter on Saturday that I think is going to be a very interesting one, to say the least. So I will probably speak to you all then, or I'll see you next Tuesday, Rick the Dick.